Conceived in quarantine and born into a world we never would have imagined. A podcast featuring two friends, outrageous facts, and a countdown clock that always wins. This is 26 and 26, the A to Z of everything. No. Now I'm doing that in honor of some amazing news that you gave me. We're not going to talk about, we're not going to get into. It's some very positive, awesome, amazing stuff that I can only honor and respect with. No. It'll make sense for people that know Nathaniel. It's going to make a lot of sense here real soon, especially come fall. But until then, all we're going to say is no. Okay.
So my highlight for the week is
let's get those audio levels cranking.
They're distorting is what they're doing. They're blowing out.
Good levels.
Apologies to any headphone users that we may have in our audience.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, you got you screaming and me laughing like a hyena. Hi, folks. Welcome to 26 and 26.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Lord. Brandon, it's time for another episode.
Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready.
But
let's
first,
do at least 20 letters today.
Well, you got 23 last recording.
Woo!
Which is more than the previous one, which was, I believe, 19. I think your highest so far is what, 24? You made it all the way through X.
None of that matters. You want to know why?
Because you're going to get all 26 today?
Because we're doing 26 today, baby.
Are we now? Well,
there's no question in my mind. There's no question. Today's the day. We're doing it.
There's no question in my mind either, but there's also a different result in my mind.
There's only room for optimism and positivity in this world. It's too amazing right now. We're going to get all 26. Today is the day. No question about it.
I'm very optimistic. I'm going to go 9 for 10. Yeah, because I had one, so I can't go 10 for 10. All right, Brandon, just give me your highlight before we get any farther down this rabbit trail.
Well, really, my highlight is today we're doing an episode. It's called Countries, and we're going to give some really cool stuff about countries. So my highlight was about a trip to Costa Rica, which is my favorite country. Done not a ton of traveling in my life. I've had some friends that are really, they got that jet set life. But for me, the little traveling that I have done, Costa Rica is absolutely tops. I've never felt more comfortable in a ultra humid climate. It was amazing. That is my favorite country that I've ever been to.
All right.
You got a highlight, or do you want to just move on? Let's do some letters. What do you think?
My highlight is I just started playing World of Warcraft with my friends again. Which is that's not the nerdiest thing I've admitted to on this podcast.
If we weren't so damn positive today, I'd call you a nerd. But we're so positive today. We're definitely not going to call you a nerd.
We're so positive that I'm a nerd. No, it's I've got a bunch of friends that are literally all across the world, but we all have a video game server that we're a part of. I may have given it a shout out in an earlier episode. I don't know. But it's just wonderful to get to hang out with people. So I got to start doing that again this week, started playing again, and good to hang out with all the friends and just unwind after a day of work.
Got a little global theme that we're going to have carried throughout this episode, playing video games with friends from around the world. Right. Now let's learn about some places from around the world. What do you say?
Let's learn. Listen. I've got a timer. You've got a timer. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
We'll start where we always start, and that is with the letter A. And how could you start with any country that starts with an A other than Australia? Australia has over 10,000 beaches. You could visit a new beach in Australia every day for over 27 years. Australia, for me, huge bucket list country. Definitely a place I want to get to in my lifetime.
Question for you. Isn't an island technically just one big beach?
Sure. But then I guess at that point, isn't America just one big beach then?
Big beach conspiracy. Unlocked.
We're gonna get deep in some conspiracies about countries today. B for Belgium. Do you know your postal carrier?
Kind of.
Well, over the pandemic, I got to know mine really well.
Okay.
He's my homie. Shout out to Maurice. But B for Belgium, this is a weird situation. Cats once delivered mail in Belgium. In the 1870s, the city of Liege, Belgium, attempted to employ inferring payment 37 felines as mail carriers, according to the BBC. Messages were tucked into waterproof bags that the kitties would carry around their necks. However, while one cat apparently made it to its destination in under 5 hours, the other felines took up to a day to complete their journeys. The fact that they made it is just insane, that this worked for at least a period of time. It wasn't like immediate, but they made it. Like, who uses cats? I mean, how could that possibly have been a bad idea? I love it. I love it.
Cats are assholes too. Like that's all I'm thinking about is like the cat gets to the destination and then won't give you the letter. Will just sit like 5 feet away from you and lick itself, and then when you move closer, it's like and like steps back, and then
the fact that one letter made it is just for me mind blowing.
What was the time frame for this again? I believe you said
it was the 1870s. So they're like, yeah, that's a good idea.
1870s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were humans not being paid as much.
Oh, yeah. I want to know what the compensation was. What kind of health and dental do they have going? C for can't be that long. There's a fence in Australia longer than the distance between Seattle and Miami. It's called the Dingo-Proof Fence, which stretches across nearly 3,500 miles, longer than the distance between Seattle, Washington, and Miami, Florida. Not surprisingly, the Dingo-Proof Fence earned the Guinness World Record for being the longest fence in the world. Its structure, which was completed in 1885, that's what really surprised me, is that they made this thing in the 1800s.
Wow.
Gets its name because it was intended to keep dingoes out of the fertile southeast part of the continent. Think of all the babies that were saved from those dingoes.
A dingo ate my baby.
Dingo ate my baby. Which I think is offensive to our Australian listeners. I don't think that's something fun they like to hear. They're like, no, seriously, babies were eaten. So, like, chill out.
I was going to say, there went our Australian listenership right there. Yeah. Bye, guys. It was nice having you.
Paul Hogan's the best. D for Denmark. Throwing a species at a single person is it's not species. Spices. Throwing spices at a single person is a tradition in Denmark. If you're single by your 25th birthday in Denmark, people will strap you to a chair and throw cinnamon at you. Yeah. Sounds like it's okay. So here's the deal. It carries on. So if you hit 30,
you're not leaving
and you still haven't had any luck in the relationship department, they're ammo upgrades to pepper. They're basically marinating single people.
Wait, you're not giving me an explanation. You're just adding to the recipe.
Oh yeah, no. The idea is that it's supposed to motivate you, or possibly marinating you to be yummier to other people. But the single life is getting spicy in Denmark. That's all I know.
I'm deleting Tinder and getting some McCormick. Let's go.
E for Eiffel Tower. This blew my mind. The Eiffel Tower, obviously, it's quintessentially French. You wouldn't think of it being anywhere else in the world. However,
Vegas.
Okay, yeah, besides Vegas, the Eiffel Tower was originally intended for Barcelona.
Really?
The Spanish city thought the design was too ugly, so Gustave Eiffel pitched it to Paris instead as a temporary landmark during its 1889 International Exposition. French critics didn't like it much either, but it's like, hey, Gustave, what do you do for a living? I sell large structures with little to no purpose to countries. Like, that's what's on his business card. That's what he does. So that was I had no idea that it was originally intended for Barcelona.
I had no idea, but did you know that there was somebody that sold the Eiffel Tower not once, but twice? I'm gonna have to look it up for the next episode, because we'll
have to get some more content. As a matter of fact, we'll probably try to get that on some social media.
I know it's a thing, but all
Oh,
right.
F, Finland. Finland is by far the happiest country in the world, and they can prove it. According to UNESCO, the World Happiness Report of 2019, Finland has been the world's happiest country for 2 consecutive years. The data is based on citizens asked to rank their life from 1 to 10. Interestingly, Finland is closely followed by other European countries such as Denmark, Norway, Iceland, and the Netherlands. Something must be in the air up there, or something's in that vodka, because that's where all the good stuff comes from.
I love the Finnish people. They are wonderful, wonderful people. And it probably is in the air. It's probably the
Do you know
lack
what a
of.
Finnish breakfast is? A
Are we
shot of vodka and a Marlboro.
I was gonna say we're recording this. We're recording this.
Yeah, this isn't the After Dark episode like the last one. All right, G for going, as in I'm going to tell you the saddest country now. South Sudan is the least happiest country. If you go by that same UNESCO World Happiness Report, you'll notice the trend of third world countries ranking significantly less. It only makes sense since the countries are often having harsher living conditions than the first world countries. So the way I see it, we need to start sending more vodka to these third world countries, and then they're going to be happy, right? That's the math there, right?
So the
Vodka
letter
happiness
H
is for hottest. The hottest spot in the planet. I would have swore about a week ago it was Phoenix, Arizona, but it's not. It's actually in
Portland.
Libya.
Oh.
Specifically, the hottest spot ever recorded on Earth is El Alzera in Libya, where the temperature reached 136 degrees Fahrenheit on September 13th, 1922. While hotter spots have likely occurred in other parts of the planet at times, this was the most scorching temperature ever formally recorded by a weather station. 136 degrees.
I could be wrong, but I think that just got broken not that long ago.
Oh, I don't think you're coming here for accuracy of like the most recent.
Oh, if anybody's coming to this podcast for accuracy, it's their own damn fault.
No, but it's very possible. I mean, because now we're growing into areas where we couldn't record the weather before.
Yeah,
so
but also at the
Death
same
Valley.
time, 1920s, like that blows my mind that it was all right. Well, global warming.
For India. India gave the world its sweet tooth. Although sugarcane originated in Southeast Asia, it was first chemically refined about 2,500 years ago in India. That's crazy because when I think of India and Indian food, I certainly don't think of sweets. I think of hot stuff. But sure enough, they refined sugar first.
Giant sugarcane. It does. Actually, that's the best thing to put on Indian food is just a little bit of sugar to cut some of the heat. Like little bit. I mean, but it's try it next time. Pro tip.
Cooking tips with Nathaniel.
Kitchen pro tip. Put a little bit of sugar on like Thai, basically any like spicy Asian. A little bit of sugar.
Does that include people? Just like, chill out, bro. Just a little sugar on you. J for just a B. The Stars and Stripes make up one of the most recognizable flags of any country in the world. But did you know the modern iteration containing 50 stars was designed for a class project by an enterprising high school student in 1958 who anticipated the addition of Alaska and Hawaii a year later. Amazingly, the boy's teacher was unimpressed and gave him a B-. And you know what? I'm kind of with the teacher. Like, where else were you going to put the stars? I mean, it's going to be 50. What are you going to do? Put one on like the stripes? No, there's this area where we're just adding stars to. How does he get credit for putting 2 stars where they logically go? I mean, where else are you going to put them?
Well, but I think the idea is the fact that those states don't exist. So technically it's 2 stars for 2 states that don't exist.
Yeah, but he read an article. We're probably going to pick up Alaska, Hawaii in the next little bit. And he's like, I have this design idea of what I think is going to be great for the flag.
If they talked first of all, I don't think any high school kid was thinking about this. But at the same time, if they talked about Alaska and Hawaii anywhere, as long as they talked about DC and Puerto Rico, he probably read 47 articles about it. It was like, it just looks better with 50.
I want to show you this design I have, Nathaniel, for 52 stars on a flag. And I really think it's going to be adopted here if we get 2 more states. I have an idea where they're going to put those stars.
Hey, man, me and the citizens of the United States that live in Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. support your design.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up going with the design I have. K for Kenya. A Kalenjin tribe in the East African nation produces the world's best long-distance runner. In one Berlin marathon a few years ago, male runners from the single tribe placed first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, while the women runners from that same tribe nabbed first, second, and fourth. All I think about is the lady who came in third must have felt pretty good. Pretty good. Just being like, listen, y'all, I can throw down. I know what's up. L.
That's a lot of fast Kenyans. That's
oh yeah, really, they can move. They can move.
I don't know why.
That's insanely fast.
Boo.
He's Jamaican. I don't know what you gotta do. L.
You're gonna do the letter
Liechtenstein.
L.
Country clubs and hotel ballrooms are so passé. If you really want to throw a party that everyone's going to remember, try renting out an entire country for the night. For just $70,000, you can rent out Liechtenstein for one evening.
What?
Yeah, what does one do, though, with a rented city? Like, do you just get to run around? And what would you do? What would you do? You've got Liechtenstein for one night. What are you doing?
God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm driving as fast as I can through every state. I am eating everything I can. Also, I don't know how big Liechtenstein is, so I don't know,
I'm going to get those little hotel bottles of booze, the little small ones, and just walk around like I'm a giant, like, fee, five, from this, damn Americans with $70,000 extra in their pocket.
That is shocking. I can't believe I'm about to use this word. That is shockingly affordable.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is I guess nothing really changes. It's not like you can actually do anything. This is just a really good marketing idea, all said and done.
Yeah, what do you get out of that? Because I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of making it on my bucket list now. $70,000. That's not. You're not going to buy a house for $70,000. You can rent Liechtenstein for $70,000.
Well, think about the concert industry, how much it costs to have, putting on a concert like Coachella and renting out that area. Well, you can get all of Liechtenstein.
I'm holding Coachella in Liechtenstein.
Coachella, the ball's in your court.
Coachella-stein.
That's perfect. M for Madagascar. A Madagascar tribe ritual requires dancing with dead loved ones. The Malgatsi tribe of Madagascar has a tradition of dancing with dead relatives as a part of a Findemia funeral process. Every 7 years, they will recover their ancestors' dead bodies from their graves, dress them in fresh clothes, and dance around the tomb. Nat, you got any family traditions?
Because the fresh clothes make a difference.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we don't do anything like that in my household. We just typically, look at some photos and stuff.
Honestly, my first instinct was repulsion and what the hell. But then there was a small part of me that it was on the night of their funeral. I'm like, there's something oddly nice about with a really cherished loved one. I could see dancing's a little odd, but I was kind of getting it. I was like, okay, I can accept this.
But 7 years later,
no. That's all I have. That's all I have. I'm just yelling the word no. The letter N for the word no.
Actually, N for no Coke. North Korea and Cuba are the only places where you cannot buy Coca-Cola. No matter where you go, it's comforting to know you can always enjoy a Coke. Well, almost anywhere. While the fizzy drink is sold practically everywhere on this planet, it still hasn't officially made its way to North Korea or Cuba. According to the BBC, that's because these countries are under a long-term U.S. trade embargoes. However, some folks say you might be able to snag a sip of the sweet stuff if you try hard enough, although it's typically a lot more expensive than what you would pay in the States and probably imported from a neighboring country such as Mexico or China. But that must be pretty confusing among like the dealers and smugglers. And you're like, hey, what kind of Coke you got? No, seriously, like I need you to elaborate what kind of Coke you have.
I should not have laughed as hard as I did at that.
We'll move along. Oh, for what kind of, excuse me, you know what an O kind of looks like? I sometimes these are very difficult. So
letters, mother trucker, do you use them?
O for, you know what an O kind of looks like? There's a small city called Slaunat in it's a South Asian country that produces 40% of the world's soccer balls.
Wait, it's
You'd
a country?
think they'd be a little more, formidable at soccer, considering they make 40% of the world's soccer balls.
I mean, I don't know. It's a country, though?
It's a country.
What's it called?
It is called Sialkot, Sealnot.
Huh. Never heard of it.
South Asian country. 40% of the world's soccer balls come from there. So thank you.
Also, I don't know if this will be... Kids, cover your ears. This might be offensive. I'm kind of surprised that the soccer ball isn't manufactured in a Latin American country, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, we're going to cut that. P for Bubblegum Pink Lake. That's right. Bubblegum Pink Lake. An Australian lake is naturally bubblegum pink. This is something you got to check out our YouTube show on. It's to see this image. It's insane. Australia is full of natural wonders that seem to defy explanation, and this one is definitely at the top of the list. When seen from above, Lake Hillier looks bright bubblegum pink. Up close, it takes on a really rich fuchsia shade, but perhaps the best part is no one can figure out why. What do you mean the best part? That's the freakiest part. How is it a lake full of Pepto not explained by anyone? That's totally weird. I don't know. It's great. So check out our YouTube show because this is really kind of cool. Or Google it. You could do that too.
You are your own people.
I'm not trying to
you
get
are
you to
your
listen.
own people.
Yeah, you're your own people. You know how to work this stuff. Q for questioning and only questioning. This Southeast Asian country is the world's largest island nation, but no one knows exactly how many islands. Indonesia attempted to count them all in 2017, but several different figures still exist. So in Indonesia, they have no idea how many islands actually exist because the counts that keep coming up differ every time.
Yeah, isn't it over like 17,000?
It is it's thousands and thousands to be imprecise.
Yeah. Like I want to say one of the last official numbers.
It just kind of also says, how advanced we really are. There's still a huge margin of error on maps,
Yeah, that is a little surprising. I feel like we could sit a couple satellites over there for like a day. There's got to be some imaging software somewhere that can just pinpoint it. And
that's the thing that's so weird. I wonder if Tide is having a variant on it. Speaking of variants, R for Russia. Nathaniel, you like beer. You're a beer guy.
Yes.
Russia didn't consider beer to be alcohol until 2011. It was previously classified as a soft drink. Before then, anything under a 10% volume was regarded as soda.
Wait, what?
Russians are savage. 10% is huge.
Holy shit. That is
big.
Oh, it just fits every stereotype. Like it's just
it really does.
Like there's no joke to be made because it's every joke. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. And I'm just picturing a bear like cracking one open going, this is just a soda, no biggie.
I'm imagining a kid at their birthday party. Daddy, can I have a soda?
Yeah. Throws
here, it's only 8%. We're good.
Yeah. S for safest, which is not Russia. The Netherlands is so safe, it imports criminals to fill their jails. The Netherlands has enjoyed a steady drop in crime since 2004 and has become so safe that it's had to close down jail after jail. 23 prisons shut their doors since 2014 to help mitigate the job loss that has been created by like them not having, employees at the prisons. The country has taken to importing prisoners from other countries, bringing in 242 inmates from Norway in 2015. It's like, yeah, we don't have that problem here.
Yeah, that we're letter T. We're not getting canceled. The letter T, please.
T for tiniest country. Nat, can you guess the smallest country in the world by landmass?
Trinidad?
That's probably a pretty good guess, but it's much smaller than that, actually. It's the Vatican City, which implies that it's a city, but the Vatican is its own country.
Yeah. It's a city-state, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. It's teeny. This tiny country measures 0.2 square miles, and it even prints its own maps. I'll be honest, I had no idea the Vatican was a country.
Yeah, which is wild because like it is within the confines of Rome. So
yeah, and that's what you think of when you think of the Vatican. You don't think of it being its own independent sovereign nation.
Yep. That's why it's led to a lot of problems.
No, what? I've never heard of that. U for unicorns. That's right. The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. Yes, although it's a fabled creature, the national animal of Scotland is actually the mythical unicorn, chosen because of its association with dominance, chivalry, as well as purity and innocence in Celtic mythology. By the way, I'm moving to Scotland real quick. I love it. Why not? I wonder if the runner-up was Nessie.
I'm just thinking about the time I spent in Scotland and the fact that purity and innocence are two words that never came to mind.
But we need to do something like that. Like, why? I guess we've got the phoenix is kind of, it's not our national animal or anything like that, but phoenix is.
Is there is there a national animal? There's probably.
Well, I think the bald eagle, right?
Oh yeah, duh. Wow. We're recording this late at night. I apologize.
V for very thankful. Nathaniel just said that. Also thankful for Egypt, who invented bread in 8000 BC. Loving the carbs. Thank you, Egypt. The first example of it was like carbs? 8,000 carbs, but they did it 8,000 BC. But yeah, it is late. Let's just keep going. Oh, before carbs. Oh, good job, buddy.
It's okay. It's late. Let's keep going.
No. Let's just stay here for a moment. This was spectacular what you just did. Before carbs, BC. Well done. We're going to move along, but well done. Well done. I want to take a moment and appreciate that. That was good. Originally, they were unleavened and mostly resembling what we call chipatas or tortillas in Latin America, but we don't talk about this enough. Egypt brought us bread as we know it. So shout out to Egypt, loving the carbs. For carbs. Well done, sir. Well done. W, world's top supplier of nurses. About a quarter of all overseas nurses come from the Philippines, making them the world's top supplier of nurses. I don't think about countries like producing, you think of cars, you think of Japan, you think of, but they produce nurses.
No, so. I mean, that kind of makes sense. India exports a lot of engineers. Actually, the United States exports a lot of engineers as well. So, but I just
never thought of it that way. But yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, labor as an export, absolutely.
What also makes sense is we're going to finish this episode today, and I believe it's going to happen. X for excuse me. One of the top attractions in Hanoi is the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, where you can view an embalmed body of the country's most beloved leader, known as Uncle Ho. He's encased in glass. Now, here's the fun part. He's the most beloved leader, and they did this against his will. One of his dying requests was, "Don't you put me in the glass box." And they did it anyway. They're like, we love Uncle Ho too much. Can't do it.
Wait, so like his actual body is on display in a glass box
right now, sitting in the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is Uncle Ho.
There's
just hanging loose.
Dead body just chilling. I'm not comfortable with that. But
why?
I'm gonna ramble
for Yoruba
another.
in Nigeria, we're doing this today. The people in southwest part of the African nation are known for giving birth to more twins than anywhere else in the world at a rate of about 50 per 1,000 births. The best explanation on why Yoruba people produce so many twins is that they eat a type of yam that contains an ovarian stimulant that might release more eggs. That's kind of interesting.
Yam that released. Fascinating. I've got nothing about yams and ovaries. So.
Then we're going to do Z for very nice. Very nice. All right. Everyone who lives in Germany, even foreigners, can attend college tuition free. And that, folks, is 26 in 26. Thank you very much. Very nice. Dude, we did it! 26 and 26, it happened!
It's very nice. Broad strokes, but yes.
Broad strokes, whatever. Finish line achieved. It happened, people. Episode 10. We did it. We did it. What a weight relief. I told you the power of positive energy. It was going to happen today. Even when I said it in the beginning, I thought I was lying. But you know what? We did it. Bottom line, I didn't think we'd ever get there. It happened today.
And we never would have if you had actually used the letters that started with, if you used words that started with the letters that you were using.
That's fiction as far as I'm concerned. There's no way. I like to see somebody else do it. Zeddy Nice is incredibly, that's awesome. That's awesome. I did a great job there. I'm just going to pat my own back. Zeddy Nice.
We both got some pats. You also were way too proud of me for the before carbs joke.
I didn't catch it, man. I didn't catch it. And then you explained it to me like 5 times. And I was like, oh, I get it now. And well done. That's the highlight for sure of this episode for me was before carbs. Yeah.
The highlight of the episode where for the first time in 10 episodes, you finally got the full episode was my before carbs joke.
Oh, absolutely. Still, pinnacle of this entire podcast. We have never reached higher heights than we did from when you had to explain to me 4 times before carbs. That is the mountaintop. And then when I finally got it, dude, I appreciated it so much. I'm glad, I'm relieved that we finally got through 26 and 26, our namesake. However, before carbs, man. I mean, if we had a shirt, our shirt would say, be before carbs or just before carbs. Anyone listening out there who makes shirts, please make us a shirt that says before carbs. Dude, I am going to sleep so good tonight. We did it, bro.
It does. It feels like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders.
The impossible has been possibled. I am so happy.
Much like that phrase, we made it up and got there.
Well, I have a feeling I know also what our thankful and grateful is going to be today. I am thankful. Finally, a sigh of relief. 26 and 26 has been achieved. Some of you said it wasn't possible. Some of you said, I can't believe that every episode you don't do it.
Some of you we revel. Still say that we technically haven't done it.
Oh, no. And for those who say that, there are other podcasts that I think you should be listening to. Enjoy those. Stay out of this one. Today we celebrate.
All right. Well, Brandon, tell us about the music that was heard in this episode. And then...
I am flying so high. I can't wait to talk to Mr. Mike DeChico about our accomplishment. And we're going to do it while we listen to some of his amazing tunes that you can also listen to at domesticatedrobot.com. Thank you, Mike, for the music that you hear there, the music that you make everywhere, and the music that you will hear in this episode.
Brandon, take us out of here.
We leave you now with love and light and this. Peace between countries must rest on the solid foundation of love between individuals. Mahatma Gandhi. We did it, Daniel. We did it.
We are the champions.
My friends. I am stoked.
Oh, you actually got it.